It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to this special edition of Science Bowl. This is it, the middle school finale. We started with 16 schools. We're down to the final 2. One of these 2 schools you're about to meet will be the 2014-15 Science Bowl champion of our 29th season. Let's meet them right now. First from Kenmoor Middle School, say hello to John Bridgers, Prosun Das, and Eric Rosario. And from Oxon Hill Middle School, say hello to Antonio Sosa, Thomas Pantelli, and Matthew Minna. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green Things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body Systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty with the easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10, tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds today, we will have our champ. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Let's go to the red team, and Prosun, would you try your buzzer? Looks and sounds good. Good luck to you, John and Eric. And the green team, Thomas, would you push it and let us see it? All right. Good looking light over there, Thomas, and Matthew and Antonio, good luck to you today as well. Teams, congratulations. This is it, the end of a very long season. Kenmoor, you are our reigning champ, the winningest school in Science Bowl history. Oxon Hill has never been to the big dance before, if I can say that, and we're so happy to have you here. May the better team win. Gentlemen, have a good game. We go alphabetically K before O, so Kenmoor, Prosun, let's start.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. While not as cute and engaging as Wally's companion, these disgusting insects do in fact, Thomas.
Cockroaches?
Yeah, that's been discovered. They have personalities. Who knew? You just want to squish them. Go green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, sardines can elude most predators because they have tiny reflective mirrors on their sides that look like this chemical element with the symbol Ag. Oxon Hill. Silver, yeah, they are silver-sided and they can reflect the light and it confuses the predators. All right, green please.
Dateline Science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, back in 1921. This scientist won a Nobel Prize in Physics for discovering the laws of the photoelectric effect. But we remember him most for his theory of relativity. Oxon Hill.
Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein, yeah, I always wondered, did he ever win a Nobel Prize? He did, but not for his most famous discovery. Go green.
Body Systems for 10.
Body Systems for 10 points. Teams, in the original Shrek movie, the gingerbread man had a candy cane prosthetic because he was missing his what? Oxon Hill?
Leg.
Yeah, one of his legs got eaten off. All right, good. Green.
Science Potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, scientists have grown bovine cells in a petri dish and artificially produced leather, silk, Kenmoor.
Leather.
Leather, yeah, because bovine cells come from cows. Good. Go red.
Green Things for 10.
Green Things for 10 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor, please, in the studio. You can use litmus papers to determine pH, or you can use this vegetable. Kenmoor.
Cabbage.
Specifically.
Red cabbage?
Red cabbage, absolutely right. It is a natural indicator, a qualitative indicator for pH. Go red.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points, teams. Chlorophyll, the pigment, is in all green things, and it reflects the green part of the electromagnetic spectrum. Thomas. What you got?
Because it reflects the color green.
But it does reflect the color green. That's what I was just trying to indicate there. Kenmoor, it reflects green, chlorophyll does, but it absorbs what two colors? What you think?
Yeah, red and white.
Red and blue. Red and blue. Go red, please. 20 points behind.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo parade for 15 points. Teams, your question is a multiple choice question. Big bird on Sesame Street, like ostriches and emus, would be considered a passerine. Thomas?
A bipedal?
Not a bipedal. Would big bird, like emus and ostriches, be considered a passerine bird, a raptor, or a ratite?
Raptor?
No, a ratite. Raptors are birds of prey. Go again, red.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, the late actor who played Spock, Leonard Nimoy, blames smoking for his development of COPD. Thomas?
Osteoporosis disease?
Good try. COPD is chronic obstructive what disease, referring to breathing problems, Kenmoor?
Pulmonary?
Pulmonary. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That's it. Thanks, John. Go red.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, you probably never thought of it this way, but the average kinetic energy of a substance is defined as this, which is measured in degrees Kelvin. Oxon Hill.
Temperature?
Temperature, absolutely right. Good. Thanks, Antonio. Go, Thomas.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline science for 15 points. Teams, this famous scientist speculates that he developed ALS because he did not, Kenmoor.
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking, because he did not absorb vitamins well enough when he was a child. 100 to 105. Close game. Red.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points, teams. The hardest material on Earth, graphene, is like, it sounded like graphite, made of this chemical. Kenmoor?
Carbon.
Carbon, yes, it is a carbon compound. Go red.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, just as we have trained farm animals, we have trained rice and corn and wheat to grow to our specifications, meaning we could describe it as what kind of creature?
Domestic?
Domestic, yeah, they are domesticated. Absolutely right. All right, that buzzer has rung. We've come to the end of the first round. We have a close game. Let's check that score. Right now, Kenmoor 135, Oxon Hill 105. We will be back with round 2 of this championship match in just a moment.
Take a hike. That's actually a pretty good idea.
Because when you take us hiking,
or let us run outside,
acting silly,
getting dirty,
and helping in the garden,
you're not only making your day better,
you're making our lives healthier and happier.
Playing outside is not only fun,
it helps us feel our best inside and out.
So next time when Mom wants you to take a hike,
tell her to go to beoutthere.org to find fun ideas for helping kids enjoy the great outdoors.
Let's be honest, it's not bad for the parents either.
They're so cute at this age. Be out there!
Hi, my name's Aaliyah Griffith. Have you ever had trouble with your math homework? Well, I've got just the show for you. Tune in and call into the Count on Us homework hotline. Go one-on-one with math teachers who'll show you how to work out your problem. That's Count on Us, Mondays and Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Count on Us, only on Telly Award-winning TV 96. And if you have Verizon, that's TV 38.
Welcome back to Science Bowl, County Championship Day. The winning team today will be taking home a plaque for their school, and each member of the team, including the alternates, will take a plaque as well to commemorate their victory here in this, our 29th season of Science Bowl. If you've not had the pleasure of meeting these young men, you're in for a treat. Let's tell you a little bit about each one of them. Let's go to Kenmoor first. And Prosen, how many times have you been on Science Bowl? Have you ever counted them up?
Well, this is my 4th year, so 7, and this is my 8th time.
Wow, so you were here in Cora Rice when you were at Cora Rice Elementary, and now you're here with Kenmoor. This is your last year of eligibility. This is your last game.
Yes.
Science Bowl is not going to be the same without you here. We've watched you grow up, and you're just an amazing young man. He loves herpetology, and I've asked you before, do you have any lizards or reptiles at home? None. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have to talk to your dad about that. Tell me about Kenmoor. Who's your principal?
Miss Fudley.
Wonderful. And the sponsor of your team is Miss Diallo, and she'll be out in a few moments. You have an alternate on your team?
Yes, Miracle and Marcus.
Wonderful. They'll be out in a few moments, too. What do you hope to do someday? I mean, do you want to be a professional herpetologist?
Well, maybe, but I also have an interest in any sort of medicine, maybe become a doctor, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. Whatever you choose, I know you're going to be successful. You're really, you're a disciplined young man, and you also look like you're having fun here, and that's important. Eric, nice to have you with us today. Tell us about Kenmoor. What do you like about Kenmoor?
I like how we get to, we work hands-on with most of the teachers, and the after-school classes are really fun. Like, there is, band, and we also have science, but, well, of course, it's really fun. We get to work outside of school, too.
That's right, yeah. Because school isn't all just class. You know, you want to do things outside. It's a good socialization thing, too. And, you know, I like here that you're going to get a chance. You're meeting students from Oxon Hill and other places. You know, network. That's what life is about. What do you want to do someday, Eric?
I'm not sure yet. I think if I progress more through my life, I might find somewhere.
Absolutely. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. We all do eventually. John, tell us about yourself. You're a 7th grader. You'll be back again, I hope, next year. And you like the competition. And you want to do what professionally?
Something with computers.
Something with computers. What is fun for John? What do you do on a day when you want to have fun?
I play on my computer.
You play on your computer. Okay. All right. Well, you're playing a good game, and you're a real asset to this team. Oxon Hill, nice to have you guys here. And boy, on the cusp of a county championship, you know, you're probably pinching yourself, but it's real because you guys have worked hard. Tell us about Oxon Hill. Who's your principal, Thomas?
Mr. Coleman.
Mr. Coleman, that's right. And I know he wishes he were here today, and your academic chief is here. And your sponsor is? What's his name?
It's Mr. Muniz.
That's right, and he is here, and he's so excited for you because it's his first time doing this. Tell me about the best thing about Oxon Hill, Thomas.
The best thing about Oxon Hill is everybody has a chance to excel, and everybody is treated fairly and equally. And we have a lot of fun programs and useful programs like STEM and Science Bowl. Yeah.
Lots of things to do and opportunity. That's what school is about, so you can try new things. And, you know, you probably never thought you wanted to be here. And you thought, let's see if I can do it. And, boy, you not only can you do it, you can do it well. And someday you're going to be a lawyer. Yeah? I can see you in front of the court there making a closing argument. Good to have you here. Good captain. Matthew, nice to have you with us today. What do you do in your spare time?
In my spare time, I like to do cartooning, researching on my future job, which would be CSI or detective work with forensics. Yeah. And I also love doing drawing and playing with my little brother. My little brother looks up to me, and he always wants to be like me. He also wished he wanted to join Science Bowl, too, in the future.
Wow. We're going to look forward to seeing him. So you're a role model.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, you have a seriousness about you that I like, and I can see you as a detective or someone trying to solve something because you're just level-headed and you're playing a nice game, too. Antonio, nice to have you here. Why did you want to be on this show?
It started last year. I had no idea that this was real. My teacher, Miss Tedder, had introduced it to me, Enzo, and forgot the other player.
Isn't that great when a teacher sees a potential in you and kind of pushes you towards something that you might not have done otherwise? And I know you're interested in flying. Yeah. You want to be an aerospace engineer. Would you like to be a pilot, too?
I can't sit in one place for a long time. So,
so the answer to that is no. All right. Let's get back to the game, guys. 105 Oxon Hill, 135 Kenmoor. Lots of points to give away. Lots of big points to give away. Start us out, Prosen.
Parade for 20.
Zoo Parade for 20 points. Listen very carefully before you jump in here. Teams, when mother armadillos give birth, the litter is always the same because she has one fertilized egg that divides once and splits. Each of those daughter cells splits again. So specifically, when she gives birth, they are always what? Kenmoor.
Twins?
No. Oxon Hill, a fertilized egg that splits once and splits again. So whenever she gives birth, the litter is always specifically what?
Quadruplets?
Specifically, more information.
4. There's 4 of them.
More?
They all have the same genes?
They all have the same genes. Yes, the judges are saying yes, that they are identical quadruplets. Good. Go green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, it has been done experimentally, and it is rare, but if a woman cannot give birth to children, sometimes this organ is transplanted. Oxon Hill.
Uterus?
Uterus, yes. A womb or a uterus. Good. Go green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Physical for 20 points. Teams, the most popular dye in the world is called sulfur black because it's used for making black socks. The second most popular dye has what I initialed term Oxon Hill.
Indigo?
Yeah, indigo for making blue jeans. Absolutely. Matthew knew that one. Go green.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, a visual question. Look at the monitor, please. Teams, this is Alexander Fleming. He is holding up a Petri dish, and you'll notice that there are streaks on it because he has just discovered what antibiotic? Kenmoor?
Penicillin.
Penicillin, yeah. It was a fungus that produced a substance that killed bacteria. It was serendipitous. No one had seen that before. 155, 165, now red.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, there are lots of different kinds of sugar. There's raw sugar like honey. There's cooked sugar like maple syrup. And then there's sucrose and fructose that is processed, and it is known as what kind of R-initialed sugar? What do you think, Oxon Hill?
Recessive?
Not recessive, no. What kind of R-initialed sugar do we refer to when we're talking about sucrose and fructose because it has been processed? Those are refined sugars, refined sugars. Go again, red.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, if you take a branch from a peach tree and attach it to an apple tree, that process has what same name as taking Kenmoor?
Transplant?
Not transplant. It has what same name, transferring a branch from a peach tree onto an apple tree, as when you transplant, move a piece of skin from one part of your body to another part.
Grafting.
That is it. Yes, good comeback. Go green. Grafting it is.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, shaking hands is so unsanitary. Better is to bump these. Kenmoor?
Fists.
Fists. Good. Red.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, sharks that live very deep in the ocean eat crabs, which are crustaceans, and they eat squids that belong to this.
Cephalopods?
Cephalopods. That's what I want to hear. Go green.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, even though they look completely frozen, these most famous of all American falls on the Canadian border never... Thomas?
Niagara Falls?
Niagara, they never completely freeze because the water never stops running. Good. Green.
Let's get physical for 5.
Get physical for 5 points. Teams, it snowed so much in Boston this winter that an entrepreneur started selling the snow. Oxon Hill? What you got?
Snow cones?
Not snow cones. Kenmoor, this entrepreneur, was selling Boston snow. He was shipping it to people in Arizona on dry ice, which is otherwise known as this.
Solid carbon dioxide.
That's it, frozen carbon dioxide. Good. Red.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, listen carefully. If someone is suffering from hydrocephalus, they have too much what? Where? Kenmoor?
Water in their head, or like inside their...
Water on their head.
In their head.
Not quite. Judges are saying not quite. Give me more information.
Inside their skull, like near their brain.
All right, yes, we will give that to you. Go red.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25 points. Teams, multiple choice question. Teams, the breaking down of crude oil into other products or alcohol into different products based on different... Kenmoor?
Oh, no. Refining?
Not refining, Oxon Hill. Breaking down crude oil into different products and alcohol also into different products based on different boiling points is known as fermentation, cracking, or distillation.
Distillation.
That's it. Yeah, go green.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, now doctors say you should give these problematic legumes to babies in small amounts. Kenmoor?
Peas.
Not peas, not peas, Oxon Hill. You should give these legumes to children when they're very young so that they don't develop allergies when they get older.
Peanuts.
Peanuts. That's it. Go green.
Super 8 for 5.
Super 8 for 5 points. Teams, if you get all upset about nothing, you're said to be making a mountain out of one of these kinds of hills. Oxon Hill.
Mound?
Not a mound. Remember the category is Zoo Parade. You're making a mountain out of what kind of hill made by a subterranean mammal? What subterranean mammal?
Mole?
A mountain out of a molehill. That's the phrase. Yes, good. Go.
Potpourri for 5.
Science potpourri for 5 points. Teams, if you have a very fast-moving chemical reaction that gives out a lot of heat because you've mixed together magnesium and gunpowder, you call these things these that occur on the 4th of July. Oxon Hill?
Fireworks.
Yeah, those are fireworks. Good. Where next?
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, I'll give you 25 points. If you can tell me, back in 1969, when we landed on the moon, many Americans still believe it was staged. I will give you 25 points if you can give me the name of the program and the number of the mission.
Apollo 11.
Apollo 11 it is. Last question of the game. Dateline for 25 points. Teams, element number 101 is named for the man who actually invented the periodic table himself. Can you name that man or the element? Oxon Hill.
Mendeleev?
Mendeleev it is, and with that we come to the end of the game. It looks like Oxon Hill has done it. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away.
How far would you go to help someone? Would you go to the end of your driveway? Would you cross a street? Would you cross an ocean? Would you go if you could use your knowledge to teach someone? And in the process, maybe learn something yourself. Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps.
I wanted to start a business that I was passionate about, something I absolutely enjoyed and believed in.
My name's Steve Allen, run RadCab in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Starting business can be incredibly confusing.
SCORE really helped me steer the course. From business plan software to insurance. If you get a solid foundation laid, everything else falls in place. It really feels amazing to create jobs here in my city. I could not imagine doing anything else.
Get your free business mentor at score.org.
Welcome back to Science Bowl. What a season it has been. Again, we started with 16 middle schools. We now have a champion, a first-time ever champion, Oxon Hill. And you know, all of these students today, all of our finalists, are at the top of their game. They are elite students. Everybody wins here on Science Bowl. Kenmoor has been the winningest school ever. They'll be back in the winner's circle. But this year it is going to be Oxon Hill. Our final tally today, Kenmoor 220, Oxon Hill 280. Antonio, Thomas, and Matthew. Carmela, congratulations. And our sponsors back there, Victorious and Titus, congratulations. You did a super job here today. And Ransom over here and Miracle. Let me see some smiles over here. You guys have had a great run. You had a great year. Eric, nice to have you on the show today for the first time. Prosen, like I say, you are emblematic of Science Bowl. You're on the poster. You and John both, because you are champs. Ms. Diallo, you've been on that poster too, and you have done a super job. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you next time on the elementary final. I'm Dave Zarin. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.